storm-ravaged southeast. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Vice President Kamala Harris is in Augusta, Georgia for an in-person update on recovery from Hurricane Helene.
These are very difficult times. And in a moment of crisis, I think that really does bring out the best of who we are. And you each epitomize that important and good work. So I'm here to thank you and to listen.
Offering thanks to first responders and volunteers. President Biden taking an aerial tour of hard-hit North Carolina before a briefing on the ground there. Earlier, he authorized up to 1,000 active duty troops to help the National Guard's response efforts in North Carolina. Across the region, hundreds still unaccounted for. Helene is now blamed for at least 170 deaths. The vice presidential candidates are back to campaigning. Trump running mate J.D. Vance in Michigan pledging to make more in America.
And we're going to do it with American workers and build American prosperity in the process. That is our promise. That is Donald Trump's solemn promise.
As Harris running mate Tim Walz launches a Pennsylvania bus tour while also highlighting part of last night's vice presidential debate, telling reporters,
I think in the midst of this, you saw something very clear. It is disqualifying to not acknowledge that the 2020 election was won by Joe Biden. It's as simple as that.
In a court filing just unsealed, federal prosecutors accuse former President Trump of resorting to crimes in a failed effort to stay in power after the 2020 election, also arguing he's not entitled to immunity from prosecution. A San Diego doctor charged in connection with Matthew Perry's overdose death, just pleading guilty to conspiring to distribute ketamine. 54-year-old Dr. Mark Chavez could face 10 years in prison. The third person to admit guilt and cooperate with prosecutors as another doctor and an accused drug dealer await trial. Stocks finish higher, the Dow up about 40 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. As the leader in identity theft protection, LifeLock reminds you to update your passwords. Using the same password across multiple accounts makes you vulnerable to cyber criminals. Updating your passwords is only one way to help protect yourself. For comprehensive identity theft protection, you need LifeLock. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes issues that arise. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
President Biden says the U.S. and allies will hit Iran with new sanctions after its missile attack on Israel.
The president says G7 leaders, including Japan, the UK, Germany, and France, are coordinating a response to Iran firing scores of ballistic missiles at Israel this week, and new sanctions will be imposed. But President Biden tells reporters he does not support military strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities.
We'll be discussing with the Israelis what they're going to do. But all 7 of us agree that they have a right to respond, but they should respond in proportion.
President Biden says he is speaking with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
14 states are suing the Federal Communications Commission, taking issue with a decision made in June to slash phone bills for inmates. The lawsuit is brought by Republican attorneys general, led by Arkansas and Indiana, arguing the FCC is improperly capping what prisons and jails can charge for phone calls, and that it deprives the facilities of resources they need to reduce risk and solve crimes. The FCC chair has said inmates' families face unconscionable rates for communications. If a seafood chain